right, there's this video that made the round, so we'll just let you take a look at it because we'll have someone who is going to explain to us what this video is about. Of Lagos International Trade Fair. She joins us this morning to just shed some light on that video which you've seen. Good morning and thank you for joining us on the program here today. So please, could you go ahead and tell us, so what is it that we hear? Because yes, today some of the dailies did reflect that the Lagos State government is sealing warehouses and stores at International Trade Fair Complex, but we do understand that there was some skirmish. Is that right?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Yes, that's absolutely right. There was a curfew yesterday. No, not really curfew. We were assaulted yesterday by the commissioner, members, thugs, and policemen of the Lagos State Physical Planning Commission.
So, when you say we, who are the people in question?
Myself being the ED CEO of Lagos International Trade Fair Management Board, together with my management staff.
Okay, but why was that? What happened?
Well, they just came. We got an information, a distress call from the market. The market's located within the trade fair complex. That men from Lagos State are there destroying the buildings, bringing down buildings. So we ran there, and I was told that the commissioner was there in person. Some of my management staffs were there before I got there. They engaged the commissioner, telling him that this is a federal government territory. And he thinks that they should meet with the executive, or rather meet with the ED before carrying out such an act. And then the commissioner did not listen to them and asked them to go ahead. They did some of the destruction on some of the buildings there. And by the time I got there, he was already in the car. They were trying to go away. And I tried to talk to him, and he refused. And the next thing, he told the police to clear us out, to clear myself and my other management staff that were there. And before you know it, they threw tear gas at us, right at me, an citizen of this country, an unarmed woman. They just threw tear gas, destroyed some tires of our vehicles, you know, shot at the tire of our vehicles. And I felt that was barbaric. It was unheard of. This is government to government. This is Lagos State, federal government territory. If peradventure there was anything they needed to discuss with the people, I expected them to have seen us, come to us in a civil manner, and we discuss these things. However, they have not done that. I think they are used to doing this kind of commando style of operation. And they said that even the Lagos State Fiscal Planning Commission said, if you must carry out destruction of properties or so on, or enforce destruction of property or anything, you need to give the occupants 90 days notice. No notice was given to us. No letter was written to us, not to even the occupants of the shops, the traders, who are our tenants. We manage them. We manage the complex. So I expect them to come and let's discuss whatever issues they feel is arising. They never did that. They just came like that and just started carrying out an illegal destruction of properties. When they did not even carry out inspection. I don't know what they were basing their assumption on in destroying the trade fair complex. I don't even know, because we were not even communicated. We are seeing our offices within the trade fair complex there. We are there, but none of them came to us. We were not written, we were not contacted. I went there, I was going to talk to a sister government and agency and so on. They rather assaulted me. For the first time in my life, right in front of me, tear gas, for the first time. in my life such a thing is happening just because I wanted to make peace. I wanted to know what was going on in the other. The problem is, the issue is, because I expected if they have issues, come, let's talk on the table. Bring the issues to the table. Oh, we talk. I was recently appointed, and it's been from one problem to the other. They have not come. They have not even gotten in touch with me or anything. They have not written. And that was what happened. Police shooting, tear gas thrown. It was horrific. It was horrific, and I was really sad. I was sad that as a federal government staff, another government appointee would do that to me.
Well, it's truly very, very sad to see and to hear such a report. It certainly doesn't tell well of, the relationship that ought to exist between the federal government and the state government. And, it's very, very disturbing. But as you said there was no prior notice as to what this could be about. This is not this has nothing to do with any shops that were maybe attached to what ought to be the real structure of the Lagos State, of the trade fair complex?
Not at all. These shops are within a complex. The shops are in a complex managed by the federal government-owned Lagos International Trade Fair Complex Management Board. So it's within the complex. It's not within the Lagos State land at all. So it's no building is there. And moreover, before we allow any building to be erected, we get officers, engineers, surveyors, and so town planners from Federal Ministry of Works, always on ground. They approve the development plan. They approve the plan. They come, they supervise the building, and they are always there daily.
You said also that
they are always on ground daily to check and scrutinize, supervise all the building constructions. So we don't even just do or give them. If you see the pictures of the place of these buildings they are claiming are illegally built or built on any other thing, you marvel to why somebody is claiming that.
Okay. You also said that this was not an inspection visit, because we do know that in recent times, the Lagos State government has been going around markets within the state to, do some sanitation exercise and holding traders to higher sanitation standards. So this, you say, has nothing to do with sanitation?
Not at all. In fact, when I resumed just a day or two after I resumed, they locked up the complex. And that is the first time in the history. And when I found out, I went into it, they told me that it was an infringement on some sanitation laws. That was based on, the market was locked for 1 week. We were able to resolve that, even though the same thing happened, but we were able to resolve that. And I thought that coming from there, if there was any subsequent issue, that we come and we will sit down to the table and we'll sit down and move forward. For goodness sake, this is the renewed hope government. We are all working to see that the government, both the state and the federal government, succeed. We are working to see that the economy of this nation is within that 1 week that the market was locked, a lot of revenue was lost to the federal government. However, we have taken steps. We took steps. I went around personally to see the infringement. Now put things in place. Already there's a task force there. We have a task force that is monitoring sanitation and sanitation activities all through the market daily, on a daily basis. So it's already on ground. So I thought having interface over the environmental issue, if there's any other issue, they will come to us and we will sit down and talk. But I'm surprised that what happened yesterday just happened. I was in the office. We're all in the office in the evening. And this happened. So I'm going there to lift. Okay, since they said the commissioner is there, let me meet with him and find out what the issue is. And the next thing, this is what happened to me. If you know me very well, you know this is not my voice because I'm still suffering from the aftermath of the assault. Just put tear gas directly, almost directly under your nose.
Wow.
Yesterday, an ED of a federal parastatal because I'm trying to do the right thing. I just want to know what you want to do there.
Truly troubling indeed. Truly troubling.
People will just take laws into their hands.
Truly troubling indeed. But I also want to know, have you been able to escalate this?
No, not yet. Not yet, but I have, however, I've informed my ministry, my supervisory minister is aware. I had to call her because I was really scared for my life yesterday. I was scared. I was panicked for myself and for the people around me.
Has there been any feedback from the Lagos state government?
No, I've not heard anything from them. If you ask me, I don't want to think that this is a government directive. I don't want to think this is a government directive. Because if it's a government directive, there are laid down rules and laws to be followed when you want to carry out any of this kind of things. There are clear laws demarcating the federal government from the state government properties and what needs to be done. You know, we pay the levies. We work harmoniously with, I don't know what the issue was. We just barged in there. But if not for the fact that I've been able to control the traders in the market before now, telling them to be law-abiding. Incidentally, even that same time, just a few hours before then, I had a meeting with some section of the traders, the leaders of the traders there, and I told them of the need to be law-abiding. So we thank God for that. That happened just immediately before these people came on. So you can imagine what would have happened. You are sitting down in your shop and somebody just came and started destroying your place of business. We are trying to improve the economy of this nation. We are trying to revamp the economy. And then where people are employing labor, making money, you are destroying it without prior notice, without even telling them what their offense is. And you know there's a supervising board there. There's a management board that manages the place. I think they should go straight to the market and carry out whatever without first interfacing with the management board. People even done that illegally, illegal trespass, still went ahead, trying to say, okay, oh, there's a senior officer there. Let me go. Well, there was no police. No policeman there with us. Nothing. We are unarmed. We are not armed. See, you two traders.
Well, Madam,
I don't think that is right.
Indeed. One of the part of the report that's been put out is that, I mean, so when you say that laid down procedures and all, one of the things that the commissioner was quoted to have said is that the developers at the trade fair complex had been unyielding despite years of serving notices and stop work orders. The emphasis actually from him is that since a 2003 judgment of the Supreme Court, the fact that it's a federal complex doesn't mean that the authorities at the trade fair complex or anywhere else should not take permits and all from the state governments. How do you respond to that, the fact that there have been stop work orders and notices
again, I didn't hear that well.
Can you hear me well now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The commissioner in question that you have quoted was there. So in the first place, I mean, how more authentic a government thing it should be is one. Then secondly, the commissioner claims that there have been several notices and stop work orders served on the developers within the complex, but they had been unyielding up until now. Are you aware of that?
Not aware of that. If they claim they have such notices, they should bring it to our notice. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. And moreover, the law, the Lagos state law says that if there's an infringement in planning, in building or the planning, development planning of a structure, you give the defaulter 90 days notice. 90 days notice before you carry out any act. No notice was given. There's nothing, I don't have any document to that effect. I searched yesterday, there's nothing, there's no prior notice. Since if they had been giving them notice since 2003, like you said, 2003, why did they have to wait till 2023 to carry out this act?
Well,
why is it that is now that they have a new ED that they are coming, this one will come, that one will come, and they come in a Gestapo style, in a commando style, as if we have a war with ourselves, as if it's a war zone. We will not interface. They have not reached out to me. There's nothing. Nothing's on ground.
Okay. Well,
nothing. So that is just a claim. Their claim is not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Okay.
They can't sustain that. Let's see the notices they have given them. You are giving notices since 2003.
No, the judgment of the Supreme Court. Yeah, it's a judgment of the Supreme Court that affirms that the responsibility of planning is on state governments. I'm not sure whether or not those notices have been coming since 2003, but just one last one. Part of the claims is that some of the structures being erected at the trade fair complex, and including those under construction, are being erected on drainage alignments. Is this something you are aware of as well?
That cannot be true. I told you earlier on that we don't allow developers, we don't develop the complex without due process. We always invite the engineers come, surveyors come, and all of them from the Ministry of Federal Ministry of Works. They are always on ground. They supervise the plan, they supervise the place, they approve the building plan, because you cannot build without approval. So they have to approve the building plan before the plan is before the structure is erected. So how, why, what claim, what evidence do they have that those are built on sewages? What evidence? Did they carry out due diligence? Did they carry out any inspection of these safe buildings? No, inspections were not carried out. So how did they come to this conclusion? How did they get to this conclusion?
All right, well, we'll make more attempts to get to hear from the Lagos State government themselves and find out what really is this about, what's going on. Is this the style of operation? Is this the way things should play out? But we have to thank you for coming on this morning. Vera Danusa, Director General, Lagos International Trade Fair, who herself is a lawyer, recently appointed by the recent government. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right.